After this election, I don't think I have any interest in ever voting ever again at this point, unless the Republican Party becomes explicitly pro-white, which I just don't see them doing.
No, I don't see them doing that either. I mean, I would say that I would vote for another Trump-like candidate down
Yeah.
the road, if there was someone like that. But we haven't seen anything like this ever before.
Well, the reason, the reason that we all support Trump is that we understand if something doesn't happen with immigration now, that's it. The GOP will be fucking finished.
Yeah, they will.
For presidential elections.
Yeah, either directly by people just saying fuck the GOP, or indirectly by the fact that they're outnumbered. I mean, it's going to happen one way or another.
In a lot of ways, I mean, it's already over for the GOP. I mean, the majority of children born today are non-white. So the Republican Party of today is not going to be the Republican Party 30 years from now if they ever want to win an election. They're going to become some type of, they're just going to be something that we don't even recognize anymore. And that will be the only way that they can exist as a political entity going forward.
Oh my God, can you imagine how far left the Overton window could slide in 30 years?
It'll be disgusting. And in a lot of ways, the Republicans will make that happen because they have to win somehow. They can't just rely on white America to give all their votes when they keep cucking and not even defending white America. And also the country becomes majority non-white. You do have to kind of win some of their votes in a democracy. So it's just, I don't even know what the party will be like 30 years from now, but it's not going to stand for any of the principles that we believe in.
I'm hoping there might be some form of secession at some point down the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm. If our trajectory is not altered, the best case scenario is that there is no fucking America in 30 years.
Right.
Yeah, that balkanization, I think, is the best. That is what we should hope for. My only fear, though, is there is so much money and wealth in this country and so much power in the federal government that they could just somehow hold it together and make this miserable fucking shithole work for centuries longer than it needs to work.
There is no money, though, and that's going to come into play in this fucking scenario.
Yeah, like Texas, if Texas decided to split off, I mean, you're talking about economies that are, sixth largest in the world if they were their own country. I mean, in Texas could just say, hey, look, we're not going to contribute any more to the federal debt. We're not going to be contributing any more to your federal income either, or your oil. So,
and Texas is allowed to do that, aren't they? Like that was part of their deal coming in.
Yeah, we were talking about this with the Constitution. Yeah, it's a questionable item, but basically it comes down to, yeah, they basically said we're going to come on board, but if this shit doesn't work out, we're out of here.
I don't even think Texas will be one of the people leading secession going forward because Texas is quickly turning into a purple state, and that's because of non-white immigration.
Yeah, and without that'll be the fucking linchpin right there.
That's
without Texas, it's over.
For the GOP in national elections. If Texas flips, it's over. You'll never win a national election ever again.
Yeah.
It's fucking sucks to think about, but that's how it's going. I think balkanization along racial lines is the best thing we can hope for.
Well, yeah, and see here's the path that I see is let's say that Texas flips and you start to lose elections. That if they're only going to endure the people that have the money in this country that are on the right side, that aren't Jewish, are going to realize after a few elections, like, hey, this ain't working out that well. And there's going to be some changes that happen. It may be secession, maybe things that are being done. I mean, just Imagine how miserable it was from 2008 to 2010 when you had Barack Obama in the White House and a democratically controlled Congress. And just imagine that for 6 or 8 years. What's going to happen here? It's not going to end well.
Yeah. The silver lining will be that all those fucking conservatives are going to have to be like, oh my god, those bigots were fucking absolutely right about everything. Boy, hey.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to realize, and I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I don't see them saying, like, do you see Republicans actually leaving the Republican Party and becoming Democrats?
No.
I have no clue how this shit's going to play out.
Well, a lot of them will just die of old age, but I think most of them are just going to just say fuck it and give up. Be like, okay, the Republicans can never win. I don't agree with the Democrats. There's just like no point to politics anymore. Just like fucking give up and work outside the Beltway on something like secession, which I think can only happen if the economy, like, it has to be like a Soviet-style collapse. And so that way the federal government doesn't have the power to stop a secession movement. They'll just be powerless, and then the people
they'll just give it up. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll just give it up.
This what's going on right now with fucking, it can't possibly last. I mean, all the people who came here, you know, through the Ron Paul experience, you know, they know that it might not be as fucking like it's happening as people were talking about once upon a time, but it's definitely gonna fuck up.
It's going to happen. It's going, you know, just based upon economics of the situation, it's not going to work out with the national debt and the entitlements. And then if you introduce this whole other racial element into it, where you're going to have a large black population, a large Asian population, a large Hispanic population, it can't work. It just can't work.
Increasing Gibbs.
Yeah, increasing Gibbs me that. I mean, the unfunded $60 trillion in unfunded liabilities and entitlements. I mean, it's just not going to work out.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, this shit used to concern me. Like, oh man, blah, 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 like America, this and that. It's like, dude, fucking bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on.
I want it to end. Every time I read one of these stupid news articles or turn on the television, it's always, you know, the narrative is being shoved in my face, and it's how much farther can we shove this dragon dildo up our ass? And I just want it to fucking end already. I'm sick of it.
Well, yeah, and like if Donald Trump is not the nominee, I'm going to be out there pedal to the floor on the Democratic Party, guy. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I want this to happen as quickly as possible. I'll be out there in fucking SEIU t-shirts, like screaming on the mall, like, you know.